please be seated. Good afternoon, everybody. I want to welcome Regent Chu, Vice Provost and Dean McMaster, faculty, staff, parents, families, and friends. My name is Mike White. I'm the Associate Dean, thank you, for Academic Programs and Faculty Affairs here in the College of Food, Agricultural, and Natural Resource Sciences. We call this CFANS. Go CFANS, come on. Yeah. I always look forward to this every year. And this is the ceremony and celebration when we get to welcome our friends and our families to join us in honoring our students. You all have reached this most significant milestone in your lives. Graduates, you've worked very hard to get here. And you know better than anyone else that you didn't do it alone. So I'd like you to please join me in a big round of applause for all of those who have stood by you throughout this academic career, for all of those who are here today supporting you, your loving families, dear friends. Let's begin by giving them a big round of applause. Graduates, I'm so proud of you. I hope you are too. We're all very proud of you. I hope you know how special you are. You're about to become alums of this great college and university. You've been working hard. I've seen it. Sometimes harder than you thought you even could. During your time here, you've been learning and experiencing new things. You see the world differently, much differently than you used to. You've been exploring and dreaming about what and who you are to become. You've set yourself on a path that will take you places you haven't even yet begun to imagine. We are so excited for you and so proud. I'm confident that the education that you've obtained here will serve you very well as you journey forward. This education that you have earned is a ticket to your future. It's a ticket to the future. You are the ones who are going to solve the great challenges, explore the newest ideas, and uncover the yet undiscovered ways of doing things. You are the future. You are truly special. Do you remember when you first found CFANS and arrived here as a transfer student or as a new freshman? Think about that. Try to remember that. You're the same person that you were then, but you're now different somehow. How have I changed, you might say? Well, from what I've seen, you've grown in your knowledge. You've developed through your experiential and interdisciplinary learning and intercultural learning. You've broadened and globalized your perspective. You've experienced many things and learned many things through your general education, through study abroad, research, and you've gained expertise and ability and confidence. It's been wonderful to watch. You're not exactly the same person you were when you arrived in CFANS. The education and collective experiences that you've obtained on your road to this day have prepared you well to become leaders, the change makers, and co-creators of the future. We are proud of you and honored to count you as graduates of the University of Minnesota CFANS. Many of you have distinguished yourselves during your time here in CFANS, and we would like to take a moment to recognize some of those accomplishments. First, to all students graduating from the University Honors Program, you have undertaken a rigorous course of study, as well as scholarship, research, or creative work culminating in an honors thesis. while simultaneously maintaining high-quality academic work in other courses. We want to recognize you. Will all the students who participated in the University Honors Program please stand for recognition? Thank you. Please be seated. Next, I'd like to recognize students who are graduating with distinction, a GPA of 3.75 or higher, and high distinction, which is a GPA of 3.9 or higher. Will all students who are graduating with distinction or high distinction please stand for recognition? And lastly, I'd like to recognize the students who've persevered through challenges, shown they're both smarter and tougher than they thought they could be, and who have made this college, the university, and the world a better place. Will the entire class of 2019 please rise and be recognized? Please join me again to recognize these people. Come on, you can still stand, right? I mean, you're young. There you go. Okay, you can sit down. Thanks. I just thought you needed to exercise your legs a little. It's okay. So now it's my pleasure to introduce to you Sierra Williamson, who is the 2018-2019 Student Board President for CFANS and is currently studying Agricultural and Food Business Management with minors in Marketing and Business Analytics. In addition to serving as Student Board President, Sierra founded a student club for the University of Minnesota called the Agricultural Business Club. She did this in the fall of 2018. The club provides students with an opportunity to learn from industry professionals and foster interest in the agribusiness industry. Sierra's long-term goals include making a global impact on food security issues to ensure safe and nutritious food for all. Please help me welcome Sierra to the podium.
First, I'd like to offer my congratulations to the class of 2019. Today marks the start of a new chapter filled with an abundance of opportunity. It is tradition at commencement to pass the gavel to the new president of CFANS Undergraduate Student Board. It is my pleasure to present the Undergraduate Student Board gavel to our new president, Jay Curtis. It is now my pleasure to announce the 2018-2019 awards for the CFANS faculty and staff. The Horace T. Morse University of Minnesota Alumni Association Award for Outstanding Contributions to the Undergraduate Education, Rebecca Swenson, Department of Agricultural Education, Communication, and Marketing. The CFANS Distinguished Teaching Award for Tenured Faculty, John Feinberg, Department of Fisheries, Wildlife, and Conservation Biology. The CFANS Distinguished Teaching Award for Non-Tenured Faculty, Maitin Kekar, Department of Applied Economics. The CFANS Borealis Exemplary Faculty Award, Susan Gulatakwich, Department of Fisheries, Wildlife, and Conservation Biology. The CFANS Borealis Outstanding Club Advisor Award, Mark Hove, Department of Fisheries, Wildlife, and Conservation Biology. The CFANS Borealis Student Leadership Award, undergraduate Grace Ditch, senior, graduated in Forest and Natural Resource Management. The Dean E.M. Freeman Medal, Joseph Ramsted, senior, graduating in Agricultural Education. Again, I'd like to offer my sincere congratulations to the class of 2019 and wish you the best in your future. And now it is my pleasure to introduce the 2019 graduating class student speaker, Maggie Christian. Maggie Christian is a design thinker and interdisciplinary leader from the San Francisco Bay Area, graduating with degrees in applied economics and environmental science, policy, and management. She is passionate about creating economically viable solutions to environmental resource problems and has always been eager to push proverbial and geographic boundaries. Her time in CFANS has taken her all over the world, from Sydney, Australia, where she advocated in Parliament for the ethical use of natural resources under climate change conditions, to Kampala, Uganda, where she worked as one of the co-founders for the Kooli Energy and sustainable fuel distribution startup. But she has always returned back to Minnesota, where she has worked in the field to help create informed vegetation management policies for local government, researched state solar energy policy for the Minnesota House of Representatives, and led projects inside Minnesota's state prison, writing standard operating procedures to reduce hundreds of thousands of pounds of waste annually. Over the course of her collegiate career, she has been involved on campus as a fellow of the CFANS Policy Engagement Program, a member of Kappa Alpha Theta, the first Greek letter fraternity known among women, and as the president of the Panhellenic Honor Society, Rho Lambda. You may have also seen her on campus giving safe rides home as part of the Gopher Chauffeur, jamming out to jazz with the U-Swing Dance Club, traveling to the edge of the observable universe as a planetarium guide at CFAN's own Bell Museum, or looking funny at playing intramural Quidditch at the river. Let's welcome Maggie Christian.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's so exciting to see everyone here for something equally as exciting as hockey, but hopefully with fewer fistfights. And there are many cliches that ring true for college commencement speeches, and I promise that I'll get to those fan favorites eventually. But we all know that the CFANS experience is anything from ordinary. People who have never visited the St. Paul campus think we're an open frontier where cows roam free and Honeycrisp apples spring fully formed from the earth. The College of Design students who ended up on our campus, it's mostly, what do you mean this isn't Rapsin? To everyone else, we may or may not be a figment of everyone's imagination that Kaler made up in 1992 because he thought it would be really cool to have a university water tower. As representative of the senior class, I'm here to set the record straight and say that all of this is 100% true. The best thing about CFANS is that we're everything everyone cracks us up to be, and so much more. Sure, we're at the forefront of forestry, agronomy, and economics, but also, earlier this semester, I was at the job fair, and there were live falcons. If you've never been stared down by a bird of prey in business casual, the font on your resume seems a little less significant. But when I think about what makes CFANS really, truly unique, I think about a specific experience. It was a specific moment, and I was walking to the Student Center to work on a group project. And this group project in particular, we had to work on a problem around energy. And the problem was, we didn't actually know the problem. We were tasked to find it first ourselves, and then solve it, which is easily one of the most difficult things that I've had to do in my time here, and I would recommend it 100% to anyone who wants to do it. But anyway, we were pushing through too little sleep and drinking bad coffee and spending way too much time looking at a whiteboard when I realized I was in a great mood. We had somehow been able to put in multiple extra days a week at insane hours in the morning for no particular reason other than every time we got into a room, it felt electric. When we had found a real problem and shared a real belief that we could make the real world a little bit better, it was easy to work through the worst parts and find joy in the great ones. And I remember thinking, I've got to hang on to this as tight as I can. Because the most important thing that CFANS gives us is, I think, each other. Going out into the world with a vision or a dream or a goal can be a frightening thing to do. The world doesn't ask us to answer questions in class, to create a beautiful, perfect solution in a vacuum. It asks us to be well-versed in languages of conflict and communication, to be leaders, to define reality in an ever-changing world. As I prepare, or rather as we prepare, to go out into the world, I feel less afraid knowing that I'm doing it with you. I know that I can't do it alone. I'm supposed to be representing the senior class, but if anything, I feel like everything that I'm proud of has come from all the remarkable, passionate, amazing people I've been lucky enough to soak up along the way. Even though today feels a little bit like an ending, finals are over, or finals should be over, the axe has finally come home. And we start to say goodbye to some of the people we once saw every day. But we continue to be members of CFANS. We've given each other little pieces of our best to take with them. We all continue to be living memorials to the greatness in one another. I hope that we all continue in that legacy. Look for the greatness in one another, take the beautiful pieces of the people, the projects, the places you're going, and make them yours. Keep a death grip on them. Lift up the good in the world and keep building. What we're about to do on this stage won't be that, but it will sure be a great beginning. We've got a long way to go, and we know we have a lot of progress to make still. But to all of you in the class and community of 2019, it has and will continue to be an absolute honor. But first, today is a day for celebration. And I did promise some commencement tropes. So, without further ado, and before these honorable faculty kick me off the stage, here we go. Webster's Dictionary defines commencement as: follow your dreams, reach for the stars, life is a journey, not a destination, live life to the fullest, be the best you can be, Bears, Beats, Battlestar Galactica, live, laugh, love, eat, pray, love, you only live once, that's the motto, YOLO, eat your vegetables, be the change you wish into the world, thank you, Mom and Dad, and most importantly, Skayuma.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sierra and Maggie. Maggie, we wish you great success, and we'll miss you, along with the entire class of 2019. And Sierra, we look forward to your continued contributions as you complete your last year next year. It's now my pleasure to introduce Whitney Place. The current president of CFANS Alumni Society, Whitney received her BS in Applied Plant Sciences in 2010. After graduating from CFANS, Whitney received her MS in Science, Technology, and Environmental Policy from the Humphrey School of Public Affairs. Whitney was named the Director of Legislative Affairs at the Minnesota Department of Agriculture in February of 2016. As a member of the CFANS Alumni Board, she serves as one of the alumni co-chairs of the Policy Engagement Program and the CFANS Mentor Program. Please join me in welcoming Whitney to the podium.
Well, good afternoon, CFANS class of 2019. Congratulations, you did it. Yeah. For the past year, it has been my honor to serve as the chair of the CFANS Alumni Society. 9 years ago, I was sitting in your seats about to receive my bachelor's degree. But what I didn't know then was how much of an impact CFANS would continue to have on my life. As graduates of the College of Food, Agriculture, and Natural Resource Sciences, you are now in the exclusive group of CFANS alumni. And as you leave campus today, it is my hope that you are inspired to stay connected to this college in a way that is meaningful to you. When you think about the power and the potential that is here in this arena today, it is truly overwhelming. Our world is facing crisis on multiple fronts, with impacts we can only hope to reverse. From rapid loss of biodiversity, to new pest pressures on crops, to malnourished people right in our own neighborhoods. The challenges that you will be taking on in this world are great. However, what I see before me today gives me so much assurance in our future. I know someone here today is going to make strides in the field of genomics that we can't even imagine yet. Someone here today is going to protect an entire natural ecosystem from destruction. Someone here today is going to improve the health of livestock and family pets in their community. Someone here today is going to negotiate a major multinational trade deal. And someone here today is going to make a major contribution in our efforts to reverse the effects of climate change. Your CFANS degree has prepared you well to take on these grand challenges. My pitch to you today is that taking on these challenges will be a bit easier if we collaborate. And that is what the CFANS Alumni Society can offer. The CFANS alumni community has reach spanning from those working on our most localized issues to those at a global level. It's a proven networking community that brings people together over common goals of advancing agriculture, sustaining our food systems, and preserving the planet. No matter where you end up in the world, there is an opportunity for you to connect. You can be involved through the CFANS Alumni Society by joining a scholarship committee, mentoring a student, speaking at a CFANS event, or joining the board of directors. One of the most rewarding ways that I've engaged with the Alumni Society is through our programming for current students. My involvement has been mainly with the CFANS Mentor Program and the CFANS Policy Engagement Program. The CFANS Alumni Society administers one of the premier mentor programs at the university, as well as throughout the country. Each year, our alumni volunteers mentor over 200 undergraduate and graduate students. I'm so proud that some of the students that I've mentored are now working as my colleagues in Minnesota government. If you've participated in the mentor program, I really hope that you will contribute your time and talent to the future CFANS students. The CFANS Alumni Society also supports the Policy Engagement Program. This competitive program admits a cohort of students to participate in 8 sessions throughout the year, connecting the Policy Engagement Program fellows with policy professionals and elected officials. 90 Policy Engagement fellows have participated in this program over the past 7 years. Congratulations to those of you who have gone through the PEP program, graduating today. I really can't wait to see the work that you do in the policy field. As CFANS graduates, you all have a social responsibility as you walk out these doors to better our food systems, our environment, and the lives of those around us. The CFANS Alumni Society is here to help you advance your careers, to make a lasting impact on a student, and to move our college and community forward. I urge you to join us. On behalf of the CFANS Alumni Society, congratulations to you and best wishes in all your future endeavors.
Thanks so much, Whitney. Now it is my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker. Our keynote speaker this afternoon is Dr. Jeffrey Stamp, PhD. He's Chief Storyteller at Bold Thinking. There he heads a team that drives ideation, concept development, venture strategy, and creation of training content. Through his work, Jeff presents influential programs and events to corporations and universities worldwide. His programming aids these organizations in discovering new opportunities and fostering entrepreneurial thinking skills in their teams. Prior to founding Bold Thinking, Jeff was the creator of Baked Lay's potato chips. Ever had those? Yeah, that was Jeff. He was doing this for PepsiCo's snack division back then. He has also led 7 successful entrepreneurial startups. As a member of the CFANS Alumni Society Board of Directors, Jeff is passionate about mentoring students and cultivating their entrepreneurial thinking skills. He has helped numerous CFANS students develop both professionally and personally through programs like the Ag-tastic Challenge. This year, he also taught in 2 courses in CFANS, one in applied economics and one in sustainable systems management. Please join me in welcoming Jeff Stamp to the podium.
Regent Hsu, Vice Provost and Dean McMaster, Associate Dean White, faculty, staff, parents, family, friends, it certainly is great to be here. Certainly great to be a part of the CFANS graduation as a CFANS alum. Once upon a time, you had a dream to achieve a college degree. Well, today that story is now complete. Congratulations to the CFANS class of 2019, it's on. What a fun day of celebration, and I hope you got all that you bargained for and were duly challenged during your time here at the U. And to my students sitting out there in the audience, we still have one tiny piece of business left tomorrow or Monday, your final. And for my graduating seniors, use the phrase that pays and simply start your final presentation with, "Once upon a time." And I'll give you 5 extra credit points. That's my graduation gift to you. Now, I'll share the inside story of that phrase with the rest of you in just a few minutes, but especially to Joe A, I won't give your last name, I hope you made it on time to graduation as opposed to the hour late you were yesterday to the final. Yeah, don't worry, Mom and Dad, it's all good. I was in a good mood. He'll be just fine. I'll point him out when he gets his degree for everyone else. I guess you could say that I'm a bench professor. When a college needs someone to come in off the bench, I get the call. I teach online or live at 12 universities each year in over 11 departments. In all, over the past 20 years, I've taught at over 300 colleges and universities all over the world. But I have to tell you, it's been a real treat this past year to have had a chance for the first time to teach here at my alma mater at the U in CFANS. Thank you very much. Now, all of you are about to start your own new adventures. Well done, scholars. I can call you that now, scholars. Yes, I can say that because in a few minutes you'll receive a very important piece of paper. You'll be part of a connected family of scholars that reverberates throughout the history at the U of M, and I'm humbled to be able to share this brief moment in your lives collectively. So in the future, be on the lookout for the maroon and gold M, because it never leaves you. I've had the pleasure of speaking in 38 countries on creativity and innovation, and in every country that I go to, I have found U of M grads. And it's always delighted me and given me a sense of home and connection as we recall the stories from our late nights of studying, research, and pursuit of science while at the university. But can you imagine a world and what it will be like in the next 40 years? I can't either. And I've already done it once already. You see, this year is my 36th anniversary of my undergraduate commencement. And even more realistic is my undergraduate advisor is sitting right here. Dr. Anexius, there he is, right there. My doctoral advisor, Dr. Ted Labuza, is still at the university, so I get to see them often. And as you know, Dr. Labuza is no easy professor. I know, I feel you. Predictions of the future are always fun. Once upon a time, 40 years ago, at my high school graduation prior to coming to the U, the commencement speaker played a hot new song to motivate us in our future endeavors as we headed off to what was ever next for us. He shocked us by playing the just-released song from Queen, "We Are the Champions." Now you see, that song wasn't particularly popular at the time, but nonetheless, we thought it was really cool because he actually played a record at the graduation. Yes, it was a 45, and the B-side was, anybody remember? "We Will Rock You." "We Are the Champions," that song that everybody recognizes today, never reached #1 on the Billboard charts. It only reached #4, but it was catchy, and we sang along at our rock and roll graduation ceremony. But then in 2011, a piece of research caught my eye. A group of British scientists, data scientists, concluded that the catchiest tune in rock and roll history was "We Are the Champions." You see, I'd love to see the data of what defines a catchy tune, but it shows, what did we know at the time in 1978? Well, we were opinionated, we were young, and it turns out we were actually rather ignorant. I was captivated by the movie recently, Bohemian Rhapsody. I was also stunned and frankly embarrassed by how little I actually knew about Freddie Mercury's life. Rami Malek did a superb job bringing that once upon a time moment back to the present. What I learned from that movie is talent is a gift, and it takes real courage to use it. Remember that, graduating seniors. And that reality hasn't changed over time. If only we'd had social media during those days. In the period from 1978 to 1983, after my undergraduate days, it was really a period of real redefinition in the US. Bands like Queen were trying to fill the gap from the burning death of disco and redefine what is popular music. But it was also the early formative stages of the so-called information age. Computers and the quest for collecting and organizing information was all the buzz on the U of M campus. We even had our own search engine, Gopher, that led the change in how we define and access knowledge, even still today. When I got to graduate school here at the U once upon a time, we too made bold predictions about the future. We even tried to envision what would computers be like in the future. And we had in our lab one of the first laptop computers, an Osborne that weighed 25 pounds. It didn't so much sit on your lap as put it to sleep, so it spent most of its time sitting on the desk. But I kid you not, one day we're sitting in the lab and we were actually looking at the computer and said, wouldn't it be so neat? And we picked up a spiral-bound notebook and said, wouldn't it be so neat if our computer actually looked like this? And we envisioned the notebook computer. Of course, we knew that computers would eventually get smaller, and we didn't know how fast or how small, but obviously we did nothing about that idea. We were certainly very bright. From my view, we are seeing right now again another golden age of redefinition. Now that the cost of ideas and information and knowledge is literally in seconds, I mean seriously, I remember once upon a time in Pioneer Hall, there was a heated discussion on our floor about which took longer to drive to for spring break, Daytona Beach, Florida, or Padre Island, Texas. Now, we actually had to go to the library to settle that argument. I mean, there was like hand wavings trying to look at the map in visual space, but the argument actually went on for days. Now we settle all these heated arguments and discussions on Google in seconds. Now everybody can be a Google or YouTube certified expert in almost every field. In fact, the information age is over. The information age is over. Today we live in another time of massive redefinition. Entrepreneurs call it disruption. In reality, it is now simply a time where everything is being redefined on purpose. But to give it a name, to me, it's now the conversation age. Now that we have all this information, what conversations or stories will we use the information for to create meaningful change in our world around us. To put it simply, it's not the garden, it's now all about the gardening. As a professional creative, it is my job to create and generate ideas. I've created my own title, Chief Storyteller, for a very important reason. It's what I do. I tell stories with my favorite four-letter F word, fact. You see, I'm a numeric storyteller. I work on how information affects how people make decisions and how they live out the stories in their lives. Truth be told, however, I did want to use the title Chief Time Traveler, but when you shake people's hands and tell them that, they give you sort of an odd look and just simply back away slowly. But you see, every culture on this planet has its storytellers. And I love the devices that storytellers use to not only grab our attention, but take us back and forth through time. Phrases like, once upon a time, it was a dark and stormy night, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. Or that great iconic phrase, do you remember? Again, another great line from a 1978 classic song. 10 points, parents, if you know the band. And if you don't, well, heck, Google it. It's only 5 seconds away. You see, I get asked, good job, 10 points for you. You see, I get asked to predict the future a lot. I get asked about what will the ideas be of the future. And I've learned a funny thing or two about ideas. Ideas themselves don't change the world. They can only change the current conversations that people are having right now. In order to change the world, ideas have to be brought to life, and they have to take a form that can be exchanged between people. Now, I'm talking about more than just a product you buy online or in a store. In some cases, it's a service. And in others, it doesn't even have to be a money exchange, just a value exchange, be it a behavior change or a cultural adaptation that changes how we collectively look at ourselves as people and our relationships to each other that gives us all greater value. People will do what they do until we give them a better reason to change. And class of 2019, it's your job now to help make sure that change happens. But it's the concept of value that is changing most right now at this time. What we value both personally and collectively is changing right before our eyes. And change isn't easy. And the ideas that frame that change need three very important seeds in order to survive and to grow. Well, let me tell you a real quick story. Once upon a time, I was asked to make a better-for-you product by the CEO of Frito-Lay. And he said to me, Jeff, you got to understand, buddy, we have a big business. At Frito-Lay, we have not one, but 9 different billion-dollar brands, so don't mess it up. Okay, and much like Maggie said, we got problems. We didn't know the beginnings to the answers. We had to find the problems. And he told me, here's the deal. You have to win 60-40 over the current fried snack product that we eat every day, the fried Lays. And I said, how am I going to beat a product everybody already likes? So I had to use and discover 3 very important things to keep my idea alive to make this better-for-you product something that you see in the stores every day. The first of these 3 things is curiosity. People will tell you, what were you thinking? Memorize that phrase. I've heard it 12 million times. Technical term, 12 million. But you see, if you don't stay curious and don't keep asking questions, then your dreams become extinguished. Ideas are seldom ever done. You have to keep thinking about what is both possible and purposeful. For me, the curiosity was, why can't I make a baked snack product? After all, the only thing I had to compare it to in the baked world was rice cakes. Remember those gems? You see, the second seed is once you have your idea, you must have the courage to redefine the world as you see it. Your perceptive, your perception, and you must give it sense. Before we can make sense of the world, you as the creator must give it sense. So practice your sense giving. become and have the courage to be your own champion first. And the third resource that you need is resourcefulness. Resourcefulness is very important. Don't wish for resources in your life. Go and create them. And once I invented the Bakelase chip, all of a sudden it dawned on me, you don't go online and go bakepotatomachinesorus.com and just buy the equipment. We had to invent that too. Every time we turned around, there was a new challenge. But it is really wonderful the time that you watch your product in the store, and I literally hid behind the shelves, watched people buy it, and bounce quietly to the cash register and actually watch somebody pay for it and go, what were they thinking? It was my turn back. But you know, work on something that matters to you. Entrepreneurship is all the rage these days, but it isn't always about starting a business. Rather, it's a decision-making tool wrapped around value. Entrepreneurship is essentially a game of who can provide the best choices at the right time. Even if you work in a big company, you're going to need entrepreneurial thinking skills. But watch out for the dreaded reality drift. Care deeply about the facts in your world and the facts as you see them, and remind everyone that if we don't behold to the facts, our reality will drift slowly away from us. In closing, I absolutely love the tagline for the University of Minnesota, driven to discover. So hopefully I've planted some seeds today that have been meaningful to you about the power of connection and why I predict receiving a CFANS degree today is happening at the perfect time in history. You have all the information at your fingertips. Now go and create something new. I often ask college students all over the world, what do you dream? Their most common answer, to make the world a better place. Now it is your time to discover and redefine better. Each generation gets the opportunity to redefine the world as they perceive it. It's now your turn, and the world really needs you right at this time. Because we live in an age where ignorance is a choice. You get to decide the answer to this very important equation. What blank equals you? You get to create what fills in the blank, and you never know where it will lead. Well, one last once upon a time story. I'll never forget my freshman orientation all these years later. The orientation leader unbelievably said to us in that hall in Kaufman, look to your left, look to your right. One of you will not be here in spring quarter. Now that actually scared the actual stuffing out of me because I was a kid from western Minnesota from a farm and I really needed to stay at the University of Minnesota. So all these years later, I want to correct that. So students, look to your left and shake the hand to the person left to you. Now turn and look to your right and shake the hand to the person to the right of you. You've made it. You are here. You're going to stay here. These are the wonderful people you need to start sharing your conversations, so start today. Tell your story, hear the story of others, and please go out and see the world so we can all participate in changing the world together. Life is a wonderful adventure, and today you are the champions. Share the journey and be open to creating alternative paths, and I'll see you in another 40 years. I can't wait to see what once upon a time stories you will all create together. Thank you very much.
Jeff, I want to thank you for your message to our students and to all of us. Thank you. All right, are you ready? Yeah, you ready? So now the time has come. Time's come to present the graduates of the class of 2019. Ooh, man. So this is how it's going to go. All right, we're going to present the graduates by major in alphabetical order. We will read their names as they cross the stage for congratulations, where they receive their diploma cover. All right? It's coming. It's coming. And then the graduates, you will return to your seats. So normally this is where I would ask the audience to hold their applause till the end. But you know what? These are our wonderful, fantastic students here graduating from the University of Minnesota, CFANs. Yes. So I want you to feel free to cheer, okay? Cheer, but please keep it short, all right? Because we want to hear everybody's name and we want to see everybody. So what's going to happen now is that Bill Ganslin, who's the Director of Student Services, and Mary Buschetti, Director of Alumni and Constituent Relations, they'll be reading the names of this year's graduates. It is now my distinct honor to present the graduates of the class of 2019.
Congratulations, class of 2019. Wishing you a bright and productive future. Have a great career, and think of us in CFANs often. Representing the Agricultural and Communication and Marketing major, Rebecca Swenson. Leanne Adamski. Hey, Leanne. Joshua Munoz. Renee Larson. Brianna Opdahl. Alexandra Gustafson. Paige Hildebrandt. Amber Cafferty. Morgan Kraus. Krista Steyer. Kayla Lighting. Mariah Larson. Megan Slater. Elizabeth Wiltz. Cassidy Murray. Christopher Graff. Julia Nunes. Brooke Roberts. Michael Slater. Dan Hayes. Okay, that's the end of the ACM majors. Representing agricultural education, Brad Greiman. Katarina Brown. Winona Johnson. Audrey Schlepper. Adam Stevermer. Haley Lighting. Joseph Ramstead. That concludes the Ag. And Kyle Lostuen. Agriculture, Food Business Management. Representing the major, Jake Hoggins. Alton Lawrence. Colin Moriarty. Robert Torborg. Michael Glasgow. Connor Chandler. Emily Dean. Eric Liebel. Bradley Dusac. Elizabeth Hilscotter. Elena Huffman. V. Wynn. John Drucker. Nicolay Thone. Kayla Mulhern. Elise Lovelace. Matthew Stelflug. Jake Borst. Eric Leeson. Sydney Wickless. Yilduz Turtaliva. Sophia Raleigh. Kenneth Strobel. Alexander Broderius. Isaac Boyum. Chris Liu. Megan Gable. Okay. Now representing the animal science major, Anthony Sikora. Paige Ploss. Madeline Lear. Katie Massing. Natalie Linders. Nicholas Pitlick. Brady Bobendreyer. Jordan Agramson. Jennifer Fiddler. Holly Yan. Alyssa Grosskopf. Alexis Giagrande. Lauren Handel. Brenna Werner. Sujuwar Adat Arana Sujudwardam. Diana Deep. Riley Black. Ann Benzine. Noah Rexegel. Jacob Seward. Seth Melson. Evan Carlson. Guangwei Wu. Lillian Pekarsky. Rachel Wiedmeyer. Jennifer Reitan. Margaret Fletcher. Alessa Ellinghusen. Olivia Subcheck. Catherine McGee. Sydney Barrett. Alexis Langanes. Angela Burr. Kathleen Murphy. Ariel Backus. Madeline Smythe. Brittany Turner. Megan Blomquist. Ryan LaRocca. Christina Stathikis. Martina Kerber. Joseph Thurston. Luke Almendinger. Kirsten Hall. Kaylee Hagberg. Jennifer Warner. Shi Kuwant Pong. Amy Lynn Tufson. JC Kazuski. Claire Chizik. Jaden Johnson. Yunchi Chu. Maggie Stone. Kyler Yang. Noah Anderson. Michaela Larson. Cody Kordendick. Hannah Lehman. Miranda Smith. Ashley Meeks. David Harris. Michael Austin. Bridget Philippon. Samantha Sincata. Michael Miller. Taylor Westfall McCoy. Kayla Prue. Julia Neldner. Kyla Olson. Allison Forboard. Nicole Goker. Kayla Bergeson. Brandy Clausen. Taylor Emmerich. Claire Silberman. Ashley Kemper. Danielle Johnson. Sharitha Alwis. Maymunra Salad. Ramsey Peterson. Kelvin Yip Cheng Lee. Caitlin Hoffman. Gabrielle Miller. Tyler Hunt. Aaron Nassett. Caitlin Raker. Julia Schreck. Hannah Mays. That concludes the animal science major. Now representing applied economics, Jay Coggins. Searing Decken. Colin Fritz. Matthew Simonson. Margaret Hagestron. Shu Wang. Frasan Josie. Woody Zhang. Lauren Dower. Anthony Bosch. Sean Link. Marcus Monaro. Jessica Spahn. Parker Coyer. Alexander Axaz. Lindsay Brecht. Nicholas Rafalo. Daniel Banazuski. Jonathan Gadel. Jake Stone. Clayton Ortiz. Josiah McFadden. David Sarmiento. Connor Moriarty. Benjamin Tiffany. Brandon Petrie. Marissa Prickett. Aaron Deal. Amina Kandel. Quentin Ikuda. Michael Turner. Keegan Calderwood. Juhwen Nam. Yujing Shan. Jiaruin Zhao. Lucas Haidakevich. Lauren Broso. Carter Blankenship. Addison Hill. Kendra Moran. Lauren Seda. Dalton McGowan. Sydney Larson. Tyler Bauman. Marcus Green. Allison Samaquiz. Emma Toomey. Jennifer Johnson. Isaac Whiting. Songhin Su. Anna Crandall. Zaka Freeberg. Hold it. New major. New major. Okay. Representing the Environmental Sciences Policy and Management, Joe Knight. Is this David? Okay. Has this been read already? Okay. Davis Harder. Harrison Ressler. Elizabeth Ellie. Emily Schneezer. Abigail Breeding. Elia Swanson. Sadie Losey. Hannah Ebersol. Cora Sutherland. Jessica Dulesky. Aiden Yano. Elena Merklowitz. Allison Scott. Nicole Sanchez. Lila White. Sonia Yermishkin. Sarah Hicks. Catherine Spielman. Caitlin O'Brien Baker. Allison Bai. Carly Wright. Britta Rowe. Claudia Altine. Lily Arvidsson. Luana Montpetit. Alyssa Brault. Connor Ward. Nam Wen. Jonathan Feldman. Brian Capel. Edward Anderson. Edemosen Sahid. Michaela Hammer. Clarice Cook. Margaret Christian. Jamie Ratliff. Shelby Swan. Hongzi Wu. Zhuai Guo. Xinting Wang. Dihua Han. Veronica Swanson. Clarissa Cole. Kevin Behrens. Bailey Ledke. Rachel Fenn. Autumn Boxum. Gabrielle Groth. Kalila Lee.
Representing the Fisheries, Wildlife, and Conservation Biology major, Raymond Newman. Thomas Olson. Cheyenne Dantona. Christina Anderson. Madeline Bartz. Amanda Knudsen. Sarah Lackritz. Matt Malechik. Alex Franzen. Robert Belden. Shalessa Johnson. Ashley Anderson. Matthew Nikolai. David Myrie. Melissa Carlson. Nathan Wallace. Margaret Newberger. Ashley Paul. Leif Ollinger. Dieter Young. Samuel Richards. Kaylee Berg. Natalie Burgess. Devin Ekmark. Paige Palamaki. Alexandria Pagonis. Susanna Tupi. Mary Dwyer. Kayla Wagner. Alexandra Garvin. Kara Van Lerbergy. Lucas Rates. Samuel Riebel. Dalton Moritson. Thorson Shu. Oops. Avery Sampson. What's wrong? Handling too slow. Morgan Hardy. Bailey Bessingpass. Sophie Halverson. Madeline Dijic. Kyle Straight. That concludes the Fisheries Wildlife Conservation Biology program. Representing the food science major, Faculty Representative Pam Ismail. Megan Birkenstock. Caitlin Plate. Alexandra Cummins. Alyssa Schneider. Axel Harlander. Daniel Vlodiver. Riley Lynch. Jacob Johnson. Eben Robidoux. Jillian Meyer. Marissa Kwong. Po Leng. Lauren Michael. Lauren Ware. Taylor Huntley. Nicole Miller. Isabel Herr. That concludes the food science major. Representing the food systems major, Thomas Michaels. Alexander Westgard. Anna Wallner. Sydney Kleinhiesen. Tuan Nguyen. Christina Vore. Holly Lewandowski. Paige Katsura. Tony Morano. That concludes the food systems major. Representing Forest and Natural Resources Management, Dr. Mike Kilgore. Nathan Vick. Grace Ditch. Rachel Rubenfeld. Juliana Smith. Gabriel Cesarini. That concludes the Forest and Natural Resource Management program. Representing the nutrition program, Dr. Dan Gallagher. Alyssa Penton. Samantha Brooke. Josephine Sebian. Claire Pendergrast. Brooke Behrens. Najma Yusuf. Hafsa Ali. Bibi Qureshi. Salma Noor. Sahar Shakari. Soyeon Jung. Hannah Lai. Jessica Lagu. Christy Fugate. Brittany Ness. Kabawi Lee. Dawn Kemunto. Dominique Brown. Andy Monens. Abigail Weggy. Caitlin Rosandich. Sophie Loberg. Vi Loven. Sarah Kotwitz. Claire Baxter. Joshua Stover. Nicole Radzos. Jenna Johnson. Josephine Jones. Greta Avavold. Shay McGrath. Carly Williams. Michelle Bascom. Kara Sommerfeld. Sarah Womsley. Sarah Cohen. Stacy Gallahue. Emily Davis. Jinru Lee. Robbie Yu. Dominique Sabas. Courtney Nelson. Tressa King. Madeline Emmanuel. Victoria Goulon. Joseph Eggers. Lauren Barkas. Morgan Burns. Oh, sorry, Megan Burns. Caitlin Brown. Ashley Johnson. Carly Britton. Megan Farr. Catherine Beadle. Michael Matson. Joshua Bentley. Liben Juafra. Miyayu Lee. Travis Johnson. Shireen Ahmed. Emily Jurgens. Marilyn Gallagher. Hannah Berg. Eric Boyson. Devin and Helder. That concludes the nutrition major. Representing plant science, Neil Anderson. Scott Buboltz. Jack Olson. Noah Hendricks. Madeline Shout. Abigail Deering. Samantha Valela. Veronica Sondervan. Ava Henningsen. Ashley Marie Landsman. Xing'er Zhang. Ji-Hyun Kim. Melanie Ruha. Jessica Leffler. Alexa Ramirez Delgado. Maximo Sarata Swadi. Byron Rusnak. Selena Lopez. Greta Rockstead. Nice. Maddie Bauman. That concludes the plant science major. Representing Sustainable Systems Management, Jason Hill. Kelly Sabrowski. Anna Brecky. Margaret Hanish. Edward Galindo. Samuel Bluestein. Chloe Weld. Carissa Fitzgerald. Colin Beekle. Tyler Blevins. Juan Silva. John Donovan. Allison Gertzak. Joseph Altweezy. That concludes the Sustainable Systems Management Program. This concludes the procession of graduates. Let's give the graduating class of 2019 one more round of applause.
All right, everybody seated? Okay. Well, if you haven't figured it out, that concludes the procession of the graduates. Let's give them another hand, another round of applause. Class of 2019 is fantastic. Okay, now it's my pleasure to introduce Regent Hsu. He will confer the degrees, so you really haven't graduated until he does what he does, okay? All right. So Regent Hsu is a 1988 graduate of the University of Minnesota with a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering. There he was an Elmer L. Anderson National Merit Scholar and honors student. During college, he was a research aide at Honeywell's System and Research Center. Since graduating, Regent Hsu has worked as a management consultant for Arthur Andersen, Andersen Consulting, now Accenture, and Booz Allen and Hamilton, now PwC Strategy. He's worked for Fortune 100 and government clients on engagements ranging from large-scale systems implementation, strategy, operations, and cost reduction initiatives. He's also attended the University of Chicago Booth Graduate School of Business And currently, Regent Hsu is the president and co-founder of Tea Masters Corporation. Please join me in welcoming Regent Michael Hsu to the podium. There's not much to say, so you can make up anything you want.
Thank you, Dean White. Unfortunately, regents can't give extra credit. And I hear most of you have exams yet to sit through. So, unfortunately, we got the order mixed up. Well, I'd like to just take a moment. I was pleased to be able to congratulate each of you personally as you walked across the stage. And now I would like to thank you for choosing the University of Minnesota for your education. You won't regret it. So, it's now time to confer the degrees. That's one thing I can do. So will the graduates please rise? All right. Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority of the regents, I now confer upon you the degrees for which you have qualified. Congratulations. Okay, everybody get up. Let's congratulate them. Everybody up. If you're able. All right, thank you. You can be seated.
Thanks so much, Regent Hsu. So now you've graduated. Could you tell the difference? So now I'd like to thank all of the CFAN staff and faculty who worked so hard to ensure the great success of this ceremony today. I especially want to thank Karen Sprengler, Brianna Berg, Bill Ganslin, and the Commencement Committee for their many, many efforts in organizing this great event. I also want to recognize the musicians, Adam Rosemiller, Scott Agster, Eric Ebling, and Reed Kennedy. Let's show everybody them our appreciation. Oh, okay. I'm supposed to tell you that it's time to flip this thing. You are graduates. Well, I wish I could drag this on a little longer. But okay. So, following the singing of Hail Minnesota and the recessional, I invite you to enjoy refreshments on the concourse level of this arena. If you look on page 33 of the program, it provides information about which section will connect you with your student and faculty from that major. After singing, we ask that our guests then please sit down and remain seated until the recessional is completed. I now invite all of us, everyone, please stand and join me in singing Hail Minnesota. The words can be found on page 29 of your program. Congratulations, class of 2019.
Hail to thee, our college dear.